Hello, everybody. Dr. Cari here, and this is our third video in this little short series I'm doing on brain health. I kept the videos really short and sweet because I know we're all zoomed out and videoed out at this point. But as I said in my first video, I really became aware of how a lot of the things that COVID is requiring us to do can really have a negative effect on our brain health. And so I wanted to remind you guys what the brain needs. I wanted to remind you what gets in the way. And I wanted to remind you about what you can do to change that even in these times, right? So remember, to recap, brain needs oxygen, needs energy, it needs nutrients, it needs sleep, and it needs stimulation, right? So what gets in the way? Sitting around too much, eating too much sugar, not eating healthy, nutritious food, watching too much TV, not having new experiences, and not getting your 7 hours of sleep. All of those things can get in the way. So let's go through what we can do to change this. We've got to move our body. Now we can go outside again. So walks outside, excellent. Walks outside without masks, even better. Because one of the concerns with masks is it decreases the amount of oxygen we get into our system. And look at, if you live in an urban environment, you already have a lower oxygen level in the air. Right? So get outside in places where you can comfortably be without a mask. Most places nowadays, the mask mandate is indoors only. So when you're outside, walk around, move, breathe without a mask on. Super, super, super important. Okay. Make sure that you're eating in a way that your body is getting regular intervals of glucose. So that is what I call blood sugar regulation. In my book, I go through it. Now, in the book, you'll hit two things. You'll hit blood sugar regulation and then nutrients, how to get nutrients into your diet, right? So getting the chemicals out of our diet is super, super, super important. So if you have been putting on those COVID 5, 10, 15, 20, then you've been sitting too much and you've been eating too much glucose in an unbalanced way, because that's what makes fat. Right? You've been eating too many simple sugar sources that make fat, or you've just been eating more than your body needs. You may not need as much food nowadays as you did before because you're just not as active. Okay. So make sure that you're getting glucose at regular intervals. Blood sugar regulation, it's called. Make sure that you are, if you're doing ketogenic diet, then make sure you're doing it and you're in ketosis, because going in and out of it stresses the brain out. Okay. Sleep hygiene. Get to bed, in bed before 11, electronics off an hour before that. Keep the lights dimmed in the house. Don't have everything really brightly on, and go outside maybe and be in the dark. Dark stimulates the production of melatonin. So go outside, take a walk outside, let your brain start to realize that it's nighttime. We have so much artificial light all day long that the brain doesn't realize it's nighttime. We don't want to fall asleep. The other thing that gets in the way of sleep is high stress level, cortisol. Cortisol decreases melatonin. So learn to meditate, learn to play an instrument, learn to do things, take a singing class online, do things that help decrease our cortisol level and allow your body to settle down. Make nighttime the time you have a conversation with a friend instead of watching TV. Get that TV off earlier, okay? Super, super important. And then finally is that stimulation piece. We're not getting as much stimulation as we used to. So call those friends up that have, those minds that you love and really have a deep conversation about something. Take a class online where you're learning something new that stimulates the brain to make new neural pathways and new synapses and keeps the brain healthy. Do some games on your phone. I know it's an electronic, so even better than doing it on your phone would be to, get a puzzle book or something. But if you're going to do them on your phone, do some games, do some math games, do Sudoku, do word games, do Scrabble, do things that stimulate your brain to have to keep thinking and vary it, because you'll get stronger in that one area. But if you don't do something else, the other stuff's going to is going to weaken, right? So vary it. Stimulation, super important. TV is not stimulation. It is stimulation, but it kind of just keeps the brain on. Most of us are on Zoom all day long these days. It is not healthy for us. It's not healthy to be looking at ourselves all day long, and it is not healthy to be staring at these screens with these bright lights all day long. So try to take the screen time down, take up playing an instrument, take up some new activity that literally helps your brain synapses develop new things, but also takes you out of a stress response. Take a dance class, something on Zoom, of course, but you're far away from the screen when you're dancing on Zoom. So we want to really try to moderate our screen time in these times, because it sends that artificial light to the brain that says it's daytime, it's daytime, it's daytime, and doesn't allow us to start to produce that melatonin that will make us go to sleep. And melatonin has immune benefits. It has anti-cancer benefits. It has so many benefits other than just sleep. But if you're not sleeping, your brain doesn't feel right, right? And then the last thing that we really need to do is we need to decrease our stress level. And in today's times, that can be hard. I personally am on a news pause, because when I watch the news, I get stressed out. And I can see it affecting me in many different ways. So right now I'm on a news pause. My friends know if there's anything really important going on to let me know, because I am all the stuff that's going on. It stimulates my brain in a way that isn't healthy. So I'm on a news pause. Take a news pause. Meditate. I meditate every day. I don't care whether I'm doing it 20 minutes, doing it 45, doing an hour and a half. I'm meditating every day. There's an app I love called Inner Balance, where you hook up your ear and it reads your heartbeat, and you breathe, and you synchronize your breath to your heartbeat. And it's so calming. In 5 minutes, it can do such good stuff for that stress level. Super important to get that stress level down. And make sure you're finding ways to have fun. Super important, and particularly people who are living alone during these times. You got to find ways to have fun. If you're going to watch something, watch an old movie that's going to make you laugh. We need laughter. We need lightness. We don't need drama. We got enough drama, man. Turn on the news. We don't need things that people are angry at each other. We got enough of that going on in our immediate environment. We don't need horror stories. You just kind of look around. There's a lot of things out there that are pretty horrifying. So doing things to decrease your stress level, super, super important for your brain health, right? Because it keeps you, when you're stressed out, you don't eat because you're not hungry. When you're stressed out, your everything tightens, so you don't get as good a blood circulation. When you're stressed out, your sleep gets ruined. And when you're stressed out, you're not creating new neural pathways in the same way that you are when you're not. So those are some suggestions for you to do to really help you out. Make sure you're getting as much oxygen as you can without a mask, outside, when it's safe for you to do that. Sending you all so much love, sending my prayers that this whole situation turns around, and some level of, I don't want to say normalcy, because I like some of the changes that are happened since COVID has come along. I like the changes it's made in many people's lives. However, a sense of not having this thing out there overshadowing our life starts to shift. Sending you all so much love, and I'm here if you need any support. Make sure to like my YouTube channel, and send me any questions you have on my Facebook page, Dr. Cari for Health, and we'll keep putting this out there. And when we feel like there's something I want to share, I only put out stuff when I feel like I have something to share. I don't just put out stuff to put out stuff. I think you guys figured that out by this time. We got enough noise out there. Anyway, sending you all so much love.